Hey friends, welcome into TexAgs Rewind, presented by Specs. In the Rollo Insurance Studio, I am David Nuno, and we've got McKinley Polanski at the Angry Elephant News and Social Center. Favorite part of the show?
Damontre Moore.
Why?
I like his energy.
It was good energy.
Yes. And a lot of people liked him too, and I just thought.
Do you remember what happened in the first hour of the show? You were supposed to quack in the rewind?
I'm glad you remember, David. I was ready to remind you.
Yeah. Can you quack
Nick
for the
goes
audience?
first.
Easy, quack.
Do it. Come on.
Quack.
Oh, my gosh. By the way, if you're wondering why, how did it come up? OB did it because we were talking about Oregon. Is that why?
Yes.
All right. And then we asked McKinley to do it. She was like, no, I'm not doing it. But we got it. All right. We had SEC Mike on the program. We had, as you mentioned, Damontre Moore, and the nicest human in the world. Am I right about this?
Yes.
Who am I talking about?
The guy that was just in here.
Yes, that guy. His name is Nick?
Andrew
Monaco.
Thank you very much. He is the nicest person I know. And he always smiles, even when you punch him in the face. It's weird. Anyway, it's the rewind. Check it. All right, OB, got some guys going into the portal. This is the world of college football that we live in. Go through some of the names on the list and then just kind of...
You know, it's Dalton Hughes' birthday today.
Today's Dalton's birthday, too. Huh, Dalton.
Happy birthday,
Happy
Dalton.
birthday, Dalton.
I know he's listening.
He's probably typing and listening. All right, Aki going into the portal.
Best of luck to him. I thought that I thought that he was disappointing here.
Gabriel Brownlow-Dindy also in the portal.
Another huge disappointment because he was never
injured
healthy.
a lot, yeah.
He was never healthy. He was one of those guys that I really expected a lot from, but we never got to see him really healthy. When he did play, like in the Texas Bowl last year, I remember him flashing. You know,
Yeah.
you'd see why he was so highly regarded. But yeah, A&M did not get the benefit of him at his best.
Cyrus Allen.
I wish him the best of luck.
He had a couple of big plays this year.
Yeah, he had the long touchdown
Florida.
catch against Florida. But the thing I remember, I guess I realized why he would have been considered, a 3-star guy or something. Remember, he caught that ball around the 50, and he was, because the defense had reacted to Marcel, he was like 10 yards behind everybody. And yet,
Exactly right.
they caught him and they tackled him falling into the end zone. But hey, Cyrus came in here. He made a positive contribution. We appreciate it. And, wish him the best. Wish him all the best.
Jalen Henderson, who didn't play this year, but was really good for them last year when they needed him.
Appreciate what he did for Texas A&M because he was there when they needed him. And frankly, it's not a surprise to me because, again, he got a taste. He's played, I don't know if, I assume he was a starter at Fresno.
I think he was, yeah.
So, look, I got another year of college. I want to play.
Yeah.
So go somewhere and play. Good luck.
Mike, how do you see this Georgia-Texas game going?
I think Texas. I like Texas. Just their defense is undeniable at this point in time, and Georgia certainly seems to be limping into this thing. And he never come out and say this, but when Lane Kiffin made the idiotic comments that they didn't want to go to Atlanta, well, thankfully they don't have to worry about that, and probably never will. But he said, I've been talking to other coaches, and they're saying the same thing. He's talking to Kirby Smart. They're pretty tight, so. Again, Kirby said the exact opposite in public setting, but if Georgia had their way, I think they would use another week of bye because they're really banged up right now. I know Georgia kind of dominated them last showing there in Austin, but I think that'll give Texas not only the motivation, but to know where they need to correct their issues. When Kelvin Banks, their outstanding left tackle, went down, I didn't even notice a drop-off, David, in the A&M game. So, again, we don't even know if he's going to play. That certainly could be a huge factor in this game. But Texas is so good on both lines of scrimmage right now, it's hard to pick against them.
I'm picking Texas to win because I think they look like the most complete football team. But I still do have, and this is where I do the Nunoism, where I go from one side to the other quickly, Mike. But I look at their defense. I think their defense is as good as advertised. But I don't think they've taken on a real offense. Am I wrong?
No, I don't think you're wrong, but I don't know that Georgia's real offense either.
Right.
I mean, they're not elite in any categories. I know Carson Beck's been playing really well the last 3 weeks. I believe he's got 941 passing yards, 11 touchdowns, 0 interceptions just the last 3 weeks. and he's only been sacked 3 times. So that was paramount. Ole Miss got after him, and he looked completely shell-shocked. Alabama did the same thing. So I think that'll be a key to the game. How upright can Georgia keep Carson Beck?
How are we feeling about things?
Man, just like this weather outside in this Texas heat, I had to blow the background out just in case my neighbors walked out, but I'm feeling a little hot and cold. If we're being completely honest, I know some of my Aggie fans might hate me for this, but it's like I said, it's hot and cold. It's fire and ice, but it's not the same fire and ice we've had in these previous years under the direction of Kevin Sumlin and Jimbo Fisher. I said a little bit of cold because I am mad. I felt like we could have won those games. There was little things that we did that we shot ourselves in the foot. But when I say hot, I am feeling hot because this is Mike Elko's first year doing his thing, and nobody expected him to have the success that he has had. And he's been proven to be a developer. And if this is the base for us, I think the future is going to be really bright. We had some great commits that signed yesterday. So with all this talent that's coming in, with him having the production that he had, like I said, it's like the elements. I'm hot and cold right now. So we'll see what happens.
Well, so the state of the program, you think, regardless of how the season ended, you like the direction it's going?
Yes, sir. I love the way the direction that it's going. I wish that, like we talked about through our text messages, I wish our defense could have been playing the way that they were playing at the beginning of the year, but they still showed up, made the plays that they needed to do, but also they were giving up little things by shooting themselves in the foot. But this is the first year up under Mike Elko, not up under him as a defense coordinator, but under him as a leader, the head guy here at Texas A&M. And for him to have the success, to come in, command the locker room, bring in the talent that he already has, and he's given everybody a fair shake. I think he's proven that it's one of those things. The best is going to come in and play. There's no favoritism, and it's going to be just a blue-collar work ethic. And so for me, like I said, I'm really excited about what he did, because if you'd have asked anybody outside of Aggieland, I think we're the only ones that said we expect to playoff or bust type deal. Everybody else was like, hey, who is the unknown name guy that we hired, and what can he really do for us to get us forward? And I think a lot of people slept on us this year.
It's hard because if you take a step back, progress, right? And I don't just mean 8-4 progress, which is better than 7-5, but I just mean if it mattered in November. But then you lose the last 3 SEC games. What do you think happened to the defensive line towards the end?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure, because it's so funny. In all those matchups, David, leading up to that, every single team in the SEC had edge rushers who were quality, who will play next level. Whether they're seniors now or freshmen, you'll see. I think they're all next level. And they're just thinking, well, you know what? The same thing that offensive line has to face when they take on the Aggie defensive line. I think there was a lot of attention to it. I think because of how good they were, I think teams really made a premium in stopping not just Shamar and Nick and Cassius on the edge. You had to account for Shamar Turner and Albert Regis in the middle, and guys like DJ Hicks as well, and Rodas Getachew Johnson. You had to do that as well. And I think, again, the same thing was you can't look past that. That was the strength. But then when they didn't win that line of scrimmage, and that's to me what November came down to. And because it's a line of scrimmage conference is what it is. And you didn't win the line of scrimmage in any of those games, and it came back and it haunted you.
Tell me if this is fair. Marcel's got a long way to go.
Sure.
Yet he was better than I thought, because all we had was the Oklahoma State game, and I didn't really use that as that was just some data to look at. But the passer that he became towards the end of the year was a different passer than the one that faced Arkansas early on.
Oh, I totally agree with that. And that just comes with all the reps that he gets. Yeah, I'm with you. Like when he would scramble, the head was up. Before, now, on a designed run, the head's not going to be up. But when he scrambled, that head was up and he was looking, and there was the progression. And you get that with reps. Even with Connor doesn't have a ton of experience. He's got the years here, but because of the injury, not the game. So he was going through a little bit of the same thing. Like Connor really didn't play a ton of SEC road games. So here's Marcel, who's thrust in against Oklahoma State, right? That's new. You're not the number one,
right?
You're the 2 going into that game. But give Marcel credit because wasn't everybody surprised he was the 2 this year and all the work in the training camp? And then leading up to Florida, okay, that's a game time decision, right? Okay, Connor's arm, he's not going to go. It's Marcel. And then when you prepare as the 1, and how the team rallies around you, you could see him getting better, as you would say. And that's all on Marcel.
Right.
And that's the relationship with Colin Klein. That's what that is. I think it says an awful lot about that young man, that he is a better quarterback now than he was at the beginning. You can't just snap your fingers and say, have experience. It's not possible.
Right.
You've got to see the different defenses. And, defensive coordinators in the SEC want to try to show him something he hasn't seen before, but he's been able to figure it out.
Polanski, tell the people.
Like, comment, subscribe,
Something else. Yeah, one more.
repurpose.
Repost. Yeah. Anything else? Tell your friends.
Tell your friends.
Yep.
Yeah.
We'll see you next time. Thank you.